Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome. Let me get the camera fired up here, and let me come back over. All right, so let me go. All right, the camera's coming back on. All right, here we go. Good morning and welcome. You can see that we have quite a bit of furniture out here in the great room. And it's mainly because, as many of you know, we've been working on a project here at the house. We've been doing some tiling and finishing off the floor. And so because of that, that you can see there's quite a bit of furniture here. There's just random couch here. Here's a piece of one of my desks. There's some kind of armoire back there, the telescope here, a shelf for another desk. I don't even know where this wicker chair came from. I think it was in the bonus room or something. It's kind of cool. It's kind of perfect for right here, right? Just hanging out with you in the morning. Just maybe put this out on the deck, have the computer here, have a cup of coffee, and just, you know, hang out and chill and have our free daily coaching here with a cup of coffee, the camera, and we're ready to go. Probably I need my lighting to fire up because there's not quite, the sunlight hasn't come up over the crest of the hills yet to be pointing into the house yet. So this morning, I wanted to specifically talk about a specific factor. And so let's just talk about this this morning because I think it's important. And so I recognize this in both my business and in my personal life in doing some of these bigger projects here on the ranch. There's always these variables in our business, right? There's always these unknown factors, these variables that keep popping up in our business, but there's also constants as well, right? Things that we know that we are required to accomplish a specific goal. And so this morning, I specifically wanted to talk about the X factor because on Mondays, we do a lot of mindset, right? We do a lot of calls where we talk about mindset, where that's really the focus of the call. So today I wanted to talk about that a little bit as well and say, okay, let's talk about this, but let's talk about it in the sense of this X factor. What is this X factor? Right? And I think I know what this X factor is, and I think that it's so obvious. You know, this is the crazy part about business, about life, about the things that, you know, when we don't know something and we're totally unaware of it, right? We're like unaware that we're unaware, and then we become aware that we're unaware. And then when we actually become aware of things, right, we actually became able to see things around us a little bit more clearly. Sometimes it seems almost too simple, right? You're like, really? That's it? And so, yeah, that's it. That's simply it. It's just that simple. But we want to make it complicated. We want to overcomplicate things. We want to add some kind of challenge in for ourselves, mostly, I believe, in the good majority of people that are experiencing lack of success or you know, the same challenges over, it's because we're setting ourselves up for that. And this is why. The X factor is simply execute. It's execution, right? The X factor is that simple. It sounds like, what? Come on, Bert. You know, that's silly. It's too simple. It's just execution. Yeah, but think about this. Think about how many people are out there taking classes, learning about something, getting some more information, going to a valuable training, even people that are coming to free daily coaching and then aren't applying, right? They're not applying the lessons that we teach on a regular basis. They're not actually executing them, right? I was thinking about this because the other day I was talking about a file on a PC, and I was like, oh, and then you have to run the exec file. And then I was like, oh, you know, it's not really the exec file. It's really an executable file. It's the file that executes the action that actually makes things happen. It's the X factor. It's the factor that puts everything into place. It sets everything into motion. It's the factor that makes things actually happen, like really actually happen. So the X factor is the ability to execute. It's execution, right? That's it. That's the X factor, is the execution. And this is the crazy part. If you now take this idea and you go, oh yeah, it's so simple, and look around. Now start looking around. Start looking around at the individuals that are having the success that you'd like to have, that you'd like to achieve. Uh-oh, spilled a little coffee. And look at what they're doing. What's different about the people that are having success, comparatively speaking, to the people that aren't having as much success? What's really the difference? Right? What's really the difference? The difference is the execution, the level of which they would execute, right? You can use so many people that you see the abundance of their work and the body of their work. It speaks volumes, right? Why? Well, just because of the sheer volume that they've created. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about it in one of his videos. He does like an Ask Gary Vee, and he talks about it and goes, okay, so let's say that someone does the same, there's two people, they do the same type of marketing. Let's just say they both create videos. And let's say that they both have, a certain level of talent, right? Approximately a certain level of talent. The guy that does 147 videos is going to get a different response than the guy that does 365. The guy that does a video every single day is going to get a different response than the guy that only made 147, right? So even if the guy that made 147 was a little bit more talented in making videos, the guy that did 365, just by sheer volume, is going to have more content out there. And in addition, in creating those 365, he's going to have twice the amount of experience now, right? He has created twice the amount of content, but also twice the amount of experience. So he's going to get better. It's going to increase that skill set. So that's all about execution, right? That's all that is. That's all execution. It's, will you get up every day? Will you take the action? Will you actually execute? And I talked about this last week about not losing momentum and keep on moving. And I was keep on moving in the house and keep doing the projects. And we've gotten, I've got 1, 2, 3 rooms left to finish off for the grouting, and then I can seal it. Right, and we can go through, and before we seal it, we can go through and make any touch-ups we need to do. There's a little couple spots like on the first areas that we did that we should probably touch up, because I wasn't as good then. I wasn't as proficient as I am now, because I hadn't done it as long. Now I spent hours doing it, and I got a little bit better. Right, that's real. So keeping that momentum and just taking the action, executing. Why? Well, I got to execute. I got to actually take the action. It's got to happen. Why? Well, because there's a couple other things that are going down. As many of you guys know, Rob Four and I have partnered up in a new venture. And so we're going to be cutting a bunch of videos, doing a bunch of mapping out some funnels for our teams, and doing a bunch of that this week as well. So I need to get this done so I can, go get that work, that stuff accomplished. And then at the end of the week, or sometime later in the week, we have a veterinary student coming to stay with us. So at the house, at the ranch for a while, as she does her externship, she's gonna stay with us. My younger cousin is in veterinary school, and so we're gonna have an extern veterinary student with us for a while. So we got stuff to accomplish, right? It has to be executed. So not just in my business, but in my day-to-day life, all of these things have to be executed, and that's the X factor. The X factor is execution. Are you going to actually execute what needs to happen? Are you going to sit and think about it? Are you going to go to the refrigerator again? Are you going to go do some other project? Are you going to do something that's totally unrelated? Are you going to use the X factor to your advantage and recognize that most of us know what the X factor is somewhere inside, right? Intrinsically, we know it. However, knowing it and doing it and actually taking the action and actually executing is two totally and entirely different things. Are you willing to use the X factor in your business, in your life? Are you willing to start executing? And then let me ask you this. Would you be willing to execute and execute and execute over and over and over again until you got the desired result? And that's really what it comes down to. How hard would you be willing to work now so that you could secure a future? Would you be willing to put in the time and effort now to build something that you knew could last and that could continue on, right? Would you be willing to do that? That's a question you have to ask. And if you're willing to do that and you say yes, and you say, okay, then let's grab this X factor, let's go out and execute, and let's do it again and again and again and again and find the winning combination. And check this out. If you've done something 10 times, 15 times, and you're not finding the winning combination, then it might be time to look and say, okay, maybe something's going on here. Maybe I want to look at this, right? So that's it for this morning on Free Daily Coaching. I'm going to get back to it. I'm getting excited. We've built quite a big initial team here with this new project that we're working on. We're really looking forward to moving forward with it. I know I am. I know Rod's been pretty excited about it. So really excited about what we've got in store. Excited about what we've been able to do here at the ranch to build, to make our life more comfortable for us. A, to build our home, but B, to be able to use these projects to fuel some things that we're doing in our business, right? To be able to use what we're learning here and what we're actually doing here in these kinds of projects in our business, and using the ideas and the concepts that we learn in business over here in our home, right? That synchronicity and that duplicity really is an amazing factor, right? And if you combine these ideas and you start using and applying these and really making the X factor something that's a part of what you're doing on a regular basis, you have the ability to go out and crush your business, right? Go out and be the best that you can be, generate the most that you can generate, do the top performance in what you're trying to do. It's all about a choice. Are you willing to go out and execute? Are you willing to go out and take the required steps to get the result that you desire? That's it. That's the bottom line. That's what the X factor is. It's not a secret. It's not something that people are hiding from others, that people don't know about. It's simply the execution, the ability to go out and take the action. And if the actions you're taking, you've taken that action over and over and over, and you're not getting the result that you desire, then stop taking that action, redefine what it is, the goal that you're looking for, right? And then create that list of required actions, create a new list of required action, change up those actions because the actions you're taking aren't getting you the results you want. So switch up those actions so you can switch up the results, and now you're back on track, right? You're back on the right path. So thanks for joining us here at Free Daily Coaching. I appreciate that everyone was patient with us as we did the Facebook Live while we were building the house up here. And we will see you on the next Free Daily Coaching. See you the next time.